All right, you glorious petrol heads and casual fans who just watch Drive to Survive for the paddock drama. Gather round. You think you know Formula One? You think you've seen it all? You think you understand the cosmic ballet of carbon fiber, raw talent, and questionable team strategies?
So you stay out there a bit.
Wrong. Because F1 isn't just about cars going in circles. It's about the humans strapped into those glorified rocket ships, battling each other, battling physics, and sometimes battling their own collective brain cells.
Takes the lead of the race as Lando
From the commentating legends who make DRS zones sound like Shakespeare,
has got DRS down the main straight.
to the pit crews who can change 4 tyres faster than you can find your TV remote, and the team principals who look like they've just witnessed a ghost after a strategy call. F1 is people, mostly. But let's be real, the true stars, the ones we actually try to follow with our rapidly dwindling attention spans, are the drivers. And oh boy, are there some characters out there. We've got the untouchable aliens, the surprisingly fragile humans, the ones who drive like their hair's on fire, and a few who probably shouldn't be allowed near a go-kart, let alone a multi-million-dollar F1 car. So, in this video, we're doing the Lord's work. We're going to explain, dissect, and probably roast every single F1 driver on the 2025 grid. We're talking about the good, the bad, and the ones who make you scream at your TV. No holds barred, just the unvarnished, unfiltered, slightly caffeinated truth. And we're going to do it in roughly the same amount of time it takes for Lando Norris to lose a trophy. Let's dive in, starting with the man who makes every other driver feel like a rookie. He's been around longer than some F1 regulations. The grumpy genius who's probably seen more F1 cars than the actual FIA, Max Verstappen. Max isn't just a driver, he's a phenomenon, a force of nature, and probably the only person on Earth who genuinely enjoys the chaos of a Turn 1 dive bomb. He lives, breathes, and probably dreams in race simulations. This man drives like he's on a personal crusade against every single pixel on the track, and he won't stop until every single one of them bows down to him.
Well, I don't want to be sandwiched. That's the only
You don't know what about
Kimi?
No, I don't want to be hit.
His defining trait? Pure, unadulterated, relentless speed. He's the guy who could probably win a race in a shopping cart if it had enough downforce. He drives like he's permanently locked into qualifying mode, even when he's just trying to find a parking spot. And the moment he gets even a sniff of an opportunity, he's gone. Like your motivation on a Monday morning.
the third position? Verstappen tried to fire up the hard tyre, couldn't do so.
Remember that time he casually passed half the grid in a single lap? Or his infamous radio messages where he tells his engineer to basically shut up and let him drive? Yeah, that's Max. He's the guy who finishes a race, steps out and immediately asks, "Is anyone else still driving?" No? Good. What's next? He's got a contract longer than a pit stop at the Monaco Grand Prix, so get used to it. His superpower is a terrifying blend of natural talent and an unshakable conviction that he is the main character in this entire F1 story. His Achilles heel. Well, sometimes if you're not in his immediate field of vision, he might just forget you exist. And also, probably, traffic laws outside of a racetrack. Hold on to your hats because here comes the man who's all noise and all fury, and is now bafflingly back at the main Red Bull team, Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki isn't just an F1 driver. He's a pocket rocket with a very, very enthusiastic radio voice.
Nice paradise, like traffic paradise. What is this one?
He's fast, aggressive, and prone to outbursts that make you wonder if his engineers need therapy.
Yes, we need to call for Sainz. Push, push.
Mate, I am! Look! I can't push it more because there's a Alonso at me front.
He's the embodiment of pure, unfiltered passion delivered at top volume. And now, he's back at Red Bull. Alongside Max, he'll either sink or swim, and honestly, both options are equally entertaining. Get ready for some truly explosive radio messages. His defining trait? Explosive pace and an unshakable belief that he's always right, even when he's apologizing. He's the guy who'll tell you exactly what he thinks, even if it's an expletive-laden critique of his own tires. Remember his fiery radio messages, or his sudden bursts of speed? That's Yuki, raw, unfiltered talent with a personality that's larger than his car. His superpower is raw aggression and sudden bursts of speed. His Achilles heel? His temper. And sometimes the pit exit line. Now, let's talk about F1's resident tragic hero, the man whose career is a beautiful opera of speed and absolute soul-crushing despair, Charles Leclerc. He's got the speed, the charisma, the jawline that could cut glass, and a flair for qualifying that'll make your jaw drop. As a Ferrari driver, he carries the weight of a nation, and it's a heavy burden. He's the romantic hero, constantly battling against strategic blunders and unexpected car failures that have plagued his championship bids. The raw emotion of his struggles is often evident in his radio communications, reflecting the frustrating setbacks.
We won it! Finally!
Yes! 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 Yes!
Despite these challenges, the perennial hope for Ferrari remains. His superpower is pure, raw, blistering qualifying speed. His Achilles heel, his own team's strategic decisions. And sometimes, the wall. Speaking of enduring legends, let's move on to the man who probably needs a separate wardrobe truck just for his paddock outfits, and is now wearing a very, very specific shade of red. Sir Lewis Hamilton. Lewis isn't just an F1 driver. He's a global phenomenon, a fashion icon, a social justice warrior, and statistically, probably the greatest F1 driver of all time. Now, he's traded the silver arrows for the prancing horse. This move broke the internet and probably Toto Wolff's heart. It's either going to be a fairy tale ending or a hilarious disaster. Place your bets now. His defining trait, an unparalleled ability to find pace where no one else can, often after complaining about the car being a tricky diva for an entire practice session. He's the master of the "I'm struggling, but oh look, I just set the fastest lap and thank the factory" maneuver. His talent is so immense, it sometimes seems to defy physics. In red, will he adapt, or will Ferrari finally break his spirit? Remember his seemingly endless winning streaks? Or his incredible overtakes where he seems to teleport past cars? That's Lewis. He's the guy who's so incredibly positive, you half expect him to start thanking the asphalt for its grip. And unlike some other drivers, he's definitely more PR trained. But that doesn't stop him from throwing some subtle shade or making a statement, like showing up with more jewelry than a pirate's treasure chest when the FIA tried to ban it. Baller move. His superpower is extracting every single millisecond from a car, combined with PR diplomacy. His Achilles heel. Sometimes the sheer weight of expectation, and also probably deciding what to wear each morning. Next up, the king of casual humor, the master of the sarcastic quip, and a surprisingly rapid young man, Lando Norris. Lando is the F1 driver who still feels like your coolest mate from high school, only now he's rich, drives a hypercar, and probably has a dedicated sim rig bigger than your entire apartment. He's the perfect blend of genuine talent and self-deprecating humor, making him impossible not to root for. He's proof that you can be insanely good at something and still be a total goofball. Fresh off his, first we hope, maiden victory, Lando is ready to prove he's more than just a meme factory. He's got the speed, the charm, and a contract that probably includes unlimited Nandos. His defining trait: consistently quick, consistently witty, and consistently asking for updates on where he is in the race, even when he's running P2. He's the guy who'd be winning an esports championship while simultaneously roasting his competitors on Twitch. His on-track aggression is masked by his off-track chill persona. Remember his iconic laughs on the radio? Or his almost win that got snatched away by rain and a strategic gamble that didn't pay off. That's Lando, the eternal almost winner turned actual winner, always with a smile or a sarcastic grimace on his face. He's finally unleashed the full extent of his celebratory chaos. His superpower is extracting consistent performance and a good laugh. His Achilles heel. Sometimes his own bad luck, or the strategic calls that seem to haunt him, and occasionally dropping his trophies.
Yeah, agreed. I'll go get it.
From rookie sensation to genuine threat, behold Oscar Piastri. Oscar is the quiet achiever of F1. He arrived on the scene like a stealth bomber. Nobody really saw him coming, then suddenly he was there, making established drivers look like they were still figuring out how to use the clutch. He's less about the fireworks and more about the precision. He's the silent killer on track. Another year of him silently outperforming expectations. Probably. His defining trait: unflappable composure under pressure. He's the rookie who doesn't act like a rookie, calmly navigating the chaos with the detached focus of a seasoned pro. He's the guy who probably has his entire career mapped out in a meticulously organized spreadsheet. Remember his debut season? It was less a learning curve and more straight line to impressive results. He doesn't say much, but his driving speaks volumes. He's like the quiet kid in class who suddenly aces the impossible exam. His superpower is learning at warp speed and maintaining a poker face. His Achilles heel, trying to understand Lando's humor. And maybe, just maybe, an occasional over-eagerness in the early stages of a race. And now, the man who's officially the senior driver at Mercedes, which is like being the tallest kid in kindergarten, George Russell. George is the F1 driver who manages to become a meme without even trying. He's the guy who loves posting shirtless photos of himself, then somehow crashes on the last lap of a race, and especially enjoys driving into people and then blaming them for it. Can he finally step out of Hamilton's massive shadow and truly lead a team? Or will he just continue to lament the car's porpoising and the team's questionable strategy calls? We'll see. He's undeniably quick, capable of pulling off amazing stints, and can look incredibly smooth. But his ability to magically ram into people or walls out of absolutely nowhere makes him not as likable or efficient as other drivers. He's the epitome of polite chaos. He'll hit you, then apologize with perfect posture. His superpower is pure, unadulterated speed and impeccable manners. His Achilles heel? Apparently, anything that isn't a perfectly straight line. And taking accountability? From the established order to the terrifyingly talented new kid on the block, Kimi Antonelli. Kimi is the new golden boy. Mercedes picked him over, well, pretty much everyone else, including some seasoned veterans. No pressure, kid, just replace a 7-time world champion. Easy peasy. He's arrived with more hype than a new iPhone launch, and for good reason. He's been winning everywhere he goes, practically since he was in diapers. His defining trait? Sheer, undeniable talent and a quiet intensity that suggests he's already calculated the fastest line through every corner on every track. He's the guy who's probably already analyzing Hamilton's telemetry and thinking, I can do that faster. His superpower is raw, untapped potential and an uncanny ability to meet sky-high expectations. His Achilles heel, the sheer crushing weight of public and team expectation. And maybe, just maybe, an occasional rookie mistake, because even prodigies are still human. Mostly. Alright, if you're still with us, congratulations. You've survived the first gauntlet of F1 personalities. But don't get too comfortable, because we're just getting warmed up. We're about to dive into the rest of the grid. The quiet assassins, the comeback kings, the rookies who are definitely not rookies, and those who prove that you can achieve your dreams, even if your car is doing its best impression of a broken vacuum cleaner. Let's roll! Still here, still kicking, and still complaining about everything, bless his heart, Fernando Alonso. Fernando is the Benjamin Button of F1. He's still racing, still complaining, still pulling off incredible feats of racecraft at an age when most people are considering comfortable slippers. How many more contract extensions does he have in him? Don't bet against him. This man defies logic, and probably basic biology.
Side! Fernando Alonso fights his way through!
His defining trait? The ability to extract performance from a car that makes engineers question their life choices. He's famously made mediocre cars look like championship contenders, only for the car itself to throw a tantrum mid-season.
Well done. We were nursing a little problem there, but you did a great job.
I didn't want to say anything.
His career is less a straight line, and more a frantic game of musical chairs where he keeps landing on the slightly less comfortable seat. But even on a tractor, he's still somehow fighting for podiums. His superpower is squeezing out a lap time from a car that scientifically shouldn't be possible. His Achilles heel, an uncanny knack for picking the wrong team at exactly the wrong time. And also, probably any form of optimism. Alright, buckle up for this one, this might be controversial, but hear me out. Lance Stroll is literally Joe Biden. Now hold on, stay with me, just think about it for a second. Stroll and Joe have both fallen downstairs, fallen off their bicycles, and occasionally act like they're navigating the world with a permanent "what's going on" expression. The only difference? Stroll does it at 200 miles per hour in a carbon fiber projectile, which is why I'm convinced they're secretly twins. Or maybe Joe just drives an F1 car in his dreams. Jokes aside, Lance is often the enigma of the grid. He's had flashes of genuine brilliance, like that pole position in chaotic Turkey. But he's also known for being incredibly inconsistent. And yeah, he's been in F1 since 2017 because his dad owns the team. It's the ultimate "my dad owns a dealership" flex, only it's an entire F1 team. He's the guy who's quietly competent, but every now and then he reminds you why he's there. Still enjoying the perks of being Lawrence Stroll's son. He'll have his moments, sure, mostly moments of asking if the tyres are okay. His superpower is pulling off a miracle in the rain, his Achilles heel, consistency, and sometimes the gravel trap. Let's move to the man who could have been a supervillain, but chose to be the nicest person on the grid, Alexander Albon. Alex is F1's resident sweetheart. He's got a backstory that would make most people turn into an evil overlord. Got kicked from Red Bull after multiple good results were literally ruined by Lewis Hamilton, then got fired by Red Bull because he couldn't perform as well as Max, because, you know, who can. But despite all that, he came back with Williams and has been absolutely shining. He's consistently dragging that car further up the grid than it has any right to be. A true talent stuck in a perpetual underdog story. His defining trait? His unwavering positivity and his uncanny ability to drag a Williams car into the points. He's the guy who'll get cut off, apologetically ask, "What was that, mate?" and then still manage to make an incredible overtake. He's part of that 2019 rookie class with George and Lando, and their endless trolling of each other is pure gold. Alex is just a genuinely jolly and likable dude. He's living proof that you can go through hell and still come out smiling. His superpower is maintaining positivity in the face of adversity and making a tractor look surprisingly quick. His Achilles heel. Lewis Hamilton, apparently. Now, for the man whose existence is a walking, talking meme. Now wearing Williams blue, Carlos Sainz. Carlos is less a racing driver and more a finely tuned, slightly bewildered Spanish sports car. He's famously the smooth operator, but sometimes he's more like the smooth operator who just witnessed something very confusing. He's the guy who looks like he's having flashbacks to a drone strike in Afghanistan during a safety car period, but then pulls off a move so slick you need to check if it was even legal. Fresh off being unceremoniously dumped by Ferrari for a shiny new toy, Hamilton, Sainz has landed at Williams. It's not a podium contender, but at least he'll be a clear number one. Maybe he can finally get some decent paella in Grove. His defining trait? His impeccable hair, his ability to suddenly find pace when nobody expects it, and his absolute commitment to singing Smooth Operator after every remotely successful race. He's the guy who's quietly consistent, but every now and then he'll drop an absolute banger of a performance that leaves you scratching your head, wondering if he's secretly been powered by a hidden caffeine IV drip. His superpower is finding opportunities in chaos and keeping his hair immaculate. His Achilles heel? Sometimes getting lost in translation with his own team strategy, and probably trying to explain his own zoning out moments. Alright, let's zoom in on a driver who brings both raw talent and a healthy dose of meme-worthy moments to the grid. Let's try to sum up Pierre Gasly in one long, slightly rambling sentence. He's an extremely talented Frenchman who's friends with a lot of other drivers, has a charming personality with all the ladies. But we all know at the end of the day, he's absolutely, undeniably, 100% committed to his bromance with Yuki Tsunoda. Jokes aside, Pierre is F1's emotional roller coaster. One minute he's celebrating a shocking victory, the next he's lamenting a strategic blunder, and then he's back again, pulling off a move that makes you question the laws of physics. He's had more ups and downs than a fidget spinner on a trampoline, especially during his Red Bull days. But he's a fighter, always coming back, always delivering, still trying to prove he's a top-tier driver in a decidedly mid-tier car. He'll get some decent results, then some truly baffling ones. It's the Alpine way. His superpower is pure resilience and finding moments of magic. His Achilles heel, sometimes the cruel whims of fate, and occasionally the pit wall. And joining Pierre at Alpine, hoping to break the curse of their drivers, Franco Colapinto. Franco is the latest fresh face at Alpine, having already made a few appearances in 24. Let's see if he can avoid the typical Alpine driver revolving door. Good luck. He's fast, he's got potential, and he's stepping into a team known for, well, let's just say, character-building experiences. He's got the youth, the enthusiasm, and probably no idea what he's truly signed up for. His defining trait? Raw, unproven talent and the unenviable task of making Alpine look consistently good. His Achilles heel. The Alpine curse of strategic blunders and internal drama. Moving teams, but definitely not moving his driving style. Esteban Ocon. Esteban is the F1 driver who treats every single inch of tarmac like it's his personal property. He's fast, he's tall, and he's fiercely, relentlessly competitive. He's now at Haas for 2025, which should be interesting. Expect a new level of aggressive from a team that often embraces chaos. His defining trait? Unyielding defense and extracting every ounce of performance. He's had beef with God knows how many drivers. Pierre Gasly from karting days, Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, even his own teammate Fernando Alonso. The man's a walking, talking, competitive force field. You can't get past him without a fight, a sacrifice, or a very, very sharp axe. Now at Haas, it should be fun to watch, for all the wrong reasons sometimes. His superpower is unyielding determination and defensive driving. His Achilles heel. Perhaps too much determination when battling his own team, and probably making friends. From surprise stand-in to full-time F1 driver, Oliver Bearman. After his undeniably impressive debut in 2024, Bearman gets a full-time seat at Haas. He's young, he's fast, and hopefully a bit more consistent than a Haas strategy call. He's got a big job ahead of him, proving that his early flashes of brilliance weren't just a fluke. He's the quiet type who lets his driving do the talking, which is probably a good thing, considering the chaos that often surrounds Haas. His defining trait: unflappable composure and raw speed for a rookie. His Achilles heel: the unpredictable nature of F1, especially in a midfield car. And the occasional, very public expectation to perform miracles. From the super sub to the consistent point scorer. And now future Audi frontman, Nico Hülkenberg. Nico is the F1 driver who defies all expectations, mostly his own retirement plans. He's the reliable veteran, the qualifying maestro who can extract a blistering lap from anything with four wheels and an engine, and then usually finish just outside the podium. He's F1's favourite bridesmaid, always there, always quick, but rarely with the ring. Now he's moving to Sauber, which will eventually become Audi. He's seen it all, done most of it, and is probably just hoping for a reliable car before the big German takeover. His defining trait: blistering raw pace, especially on Saturdays. He's the guy who makes you think, this is it, this is his moment. And then something almost happens. He's a true professional, always delivering when called upon. He's the guy who you can always count on to perform, even if the car is conspiring against him. His superpower is qualifying pace and consistency. His Achilles heel? The podium. It's like a mythical creature for him. Another rising star making the jump to F1, hoping to impress for the long game. Gabriel Bortoleto. Gabriel is another F2 champion making the jump to F1 with Sauber. This team is basically a holding pen for future Audi drivers. So let's see if he can impress enough not to get shunted aside when the big German manufacturer arrives. He's got the talent, the youth, and the pressure of knowing he's essentially auditioning for a very big role. His defining trait? A consistent, mature approach for a young driver, already showing flashes of brilliance in the junior categories. His Achilles heel: the inevitable pressures of a new F1 team, combined with a potentially underperforming car. A promising talent with full-time ambitions, Liam Lawson is the man who just can't seem to catch a break, but is probably too nice to complain. Liam was promoted to Red Bull for a hot minute, then sent back to Racing Bulls for more seasoning. He's fast, he's hungry, and he's probably already mentally packing his bags for another shot at the main team. He proved in his substitute appearances that he has the raw speed, but now he needs to consistently deliver in a full season. He's the kind of driver you root for because he just seems to keep getting the short end of the stick. His defining trait? Raw speed and an almost painful politeness. He's the guy who could probably win a race, but would apologize for taking up too much space on the podium. His Achilles heel? Being in the Red Bull Driver Academy, which is a bit like playing Russian roulette with your career. And joining Liam at Racing Bulls, trying to make his mark, Isack Hadjar. Isack Hadjar is the other young gun at Racing Bulls. These two will be fighting tooth and nail for any scraps left by the big boys, and more importantly, for a future Red Bull seat. He's fast, aggressive, and part of that incredibly competitive Red Bull talent pool. He's got the flair, but now he needs the consistency that Red Bull demands. His defining trait? Aggressive racecraft and a willingness to take risks. His Achilles heel? The ruthless nature of the Red Bull program, where patience is not a virtue. Phew! And there you have it, folks. The F1 grid of 2025, decoded, deconstructed, and hopefully not too terribly offensive for your viewing pleasure. From the honey badger to the Viking, the smooth operator to the tragic hero, these are the humans who defy logic, gravity, and sometimes basic physics, all for the thrill of going really, really fast. So, next time you're watching a race, remember, it's not just about the overtakes or the pit stops. It's about the personalities, the quirks, the sheer beautiful madness that is Formula One. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the absurd world of motorsport. And tell us in the comments, which driver's personality shines brightest on track? Or which team's story do you find most fascinating? you know, for research purposes. So, keep your eyes on the track and we'll catch you in the next fast lane.